Now, I know because you listen to this show, you love Chicago. In fact, you probably know your community very well. Maybe you're involved in a block club or some other neighborhood organization because you're passionate about the place you live. Well, you might be able to turn that passion into a profession, helping others find neighborhoods that they love with a career in real estate. When you earn your license with Realtors Real Estate School, you'll have access to a community of real estate professionals who can offer guidance and mentorship. Learn how you can get started this summer. Visit realtorsrealestateschool.com/begin. Today on CityCast Chicago, going out at night in the city in August when everybody and their mama outside is already tough enough. You got to figure out what's the vibe and which neighborhood you're trying to go to, which DJs are playing, how you getting back home. And then after all of that effort, sometimes the hardest part is just getting through the damn line. So do you wait? You try and talk your way in? Do you just leave? I'm sitting down with a bouncer and manager from one of my favorite spots in Chicago to find out why the lines take so long and to learn his personal do's and don'ts for going out. It's Thursday, August 8th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing episodes discussing some of our favorite places to grab a drink in the city, grab wine. And of course, Easy Does It in Logan Square has been on a few folks' lists. All of that to say, it's also one of my favorite places to relax. Over the last few years, me and my girlfriend have been no less than 10 times. And one person I see almost every single time I go, whether they're working at the door or whether they're walking through the spot, is East Room Fatty. So East Room Fatty, welcome to CityCast Chicago.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, man, I will say to you, G, you are one of the people who I've encountered quite a few bouncers in my day in Chicago. You're one of the people who move the line through fastest. How long have you been at Easy Does It? And some people might know, previously known as East Room.
And I started at East Room, and I'm going to say a little over 10 years now, I think.
You mind me asking, how did you get into working as a bouncer in Chicago? It's not a role that I've often seen like advertised, but it's one that so many places obviously around the city got.
I was a butcher at first, bro. So I used to cut meat.
That's a Chicago ass job.
And man, my homie who passed, now his name White Boy Chris. He had was telling me about Joe Barker. Joe Barker owns a security company called Black Label Security, and he like, man, you know, you big, you could do this. It's easy money. So he take me. The first time Joe, if you're familiar with Debonair, the club Debonair. Mm-hmm. So Joe ran Debonair, right? He was one of the owners as well. The first shift he ever gave me was East Room. And when I went to East Room, I never left. They love me. I was, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't come like security. I just always wanted to be like a people's person. I love to socialize with people. I want to be relatable. You know, I don't want to be like walking up on you with gloves on and like barking orders and shit, because I understand it's not about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was the approach.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned Debonair. It closed back in 2023, but it was open for 17 years prior to that over in Wicker Park. Now that you've been doing it for 10 years at this spot, what is your favorite and your least favorite part of working the door and interacting with that many people?
I love to socialize. I love to meet new people, different people every day. The thing that I hate about it most would probably be just assholes, to be honest, you know, just assholes. Because I'm never an asshole. Mm-hmm. That's the worst part about it, to be honest. And the pressure that, because a lot of people don't understand, being a door guy is not just me standing at the door, you know. I have to keep count of everybody. I'm responsible for everybody in the line, you know, I got to make sure you get home safe. I got to make sure you get in safe. And outside is not really controlled, because it's like, I'm not the police. So that's a hard thing on its own, you know. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everybody else's job depends on my job. If I do this job right, you know, everybody who work at the bar, I can get the bar shut down immediately for anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's the tough part about it, to have that on your back.
how can you tell when a night is going to be super busy or super dead? Because like for me, before I'm making the decision to come out, whether it's Easy Desert or any spot in the city, I'm like looking up what they got going on. Is there a DJ that's going to be there? But I don't always have a good sense of, am I going to be waiting in the line? Is it going to be easy to get to? So how do you start to gauge, what type of night it's going to be?
Well, you coming from a whole nother aspect of it, right? For a door guy, or for me, I'm really looking at the street, right? So I'm looking at, is it a lot of parking spaces? You know what I mean? The flow, just the traffic that's coming through, or a lot of cabs pulling up, dropping people off, stuff like that. I'm looking for that.
I mean, what determines how fast the line moves? Because I'll get out there and sometimes it's kind of pushing pretty quickly. And then sometimes I might be out there 45, 50 minutes. And I imagine for somebody like you out here with us, you're like you said, you control the flow of traffic. You're responsible for people in the line. But you don't necessarily control all the factors that lead to how long I'm out there.
I kind of do.
Okay. Walk me through that then. Explain it to me.
That's another part of it. So we have to be mindful of how many people we letting in the bar and how we're overwhelming the bar. When you think about wash and polish every glass. So if you're standing in line for 20, 30 minutes and I get you in, as long as you can get a drink fast, you'll stay for a second or a third drink. But if you waited 20, 30 minutes and now I got to wait 30 minutes to get a drink, you probably only going to get that drink and not enjoy your night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of that still, we like taking in account of all of that, let's see how the bar looking with glass. Well, let's see how, you know what I mean? Because it's important.
I was going to say, I've gotten in some places and I immediately am like, oh man, it was placed to stand in here. Why didn't they move more people in here? Because it wasn't as simple as you could stand in there, because then my trip to the bar was a whole nother journey, a whole nother line.
Exactly. And bars shouldn't be packed like that. It should be, people want space, Now, clubs is a different atmosphere. People want to be packed in and, dancing. And even though Easy Does It gets like that, but we try to keep it relaxed and comfortable for the most part, even down to the temperature. We check everything continuously.
Now, obviously, some people move through the line faster than other people, right? Some people come up and maybe they know you, maybe they know somebody inside, but there are always those people who just assume, maybe it's their own arrogance, maybe they think they know somebody inside, that they just gonna come up and talk their way in. How do you feel when people try to clout their way into the door or kind of talk their way into the door, and you ain't never met them and they don't know nobody inside?
Man, I hate that with a passion, but I actually gained some good relationships through situations like that. Yeah, I done had situations with people man, trying to rush in the club and it's like, yo, who are you? Oh, well, I'm such and such producer. And I'm like, yo, you act like I suppose that, you know what I mean? But later on, you find out, you like, damn, this is such and such. But I don't know. That's the worst part of it.
How do you manage that then? Because like you said, you definitely hate assholes, but again, you got an important job. How do you maintain your patience when people are coming up trying to talk their way in, while also kind of navigate, is this beneficial for me to just say, take your ass to the back, or to parlay with you a little bit?
Depending on how you do it, I'm really going to send your ass to the back if I'm being 100% honest with you. If you come up like super entitled, I'm sending your ass to the back. Is no. But for the most part, how I deal with it, bro, is to take my ego all the way out of it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm dealing with all of those people, I can't have an ego, because then, that's the back and forth. I just really take my ego out of it, if I'm being honest.
What's up, y'all? I'm back with another Ravinia Roundup. Yes, another one, and I got more shows. All summer long, North America's longest running outdoor music festival is putting on some of the most enjoyable concerts in the Chicago area, point blank period, and trust me, there is something for everybody. August probably has my favorite run of shows of this entire summer. They got Grammy winners all month long, y'all, with Robert Glasper and Chicago's own Jay Ivey on August 14th, The Roots with Diggable Planets and Arrested Development event on August 24th. And they've got some excited Ravinia debuts with Gaelic Storm and the High Kings on August 22nd. I know, that's a lot of names, a lot of dates. Go to the link in our show notes for the full schedule. Remember, you can grab a pavilion seat or pack a lunch for the lawn. Either way, your ride on the Metro is free with your ticket. So pick your concert, buy tickets at ravinia.org, and treat yourself. Grab yourself some wine. Do it big when you go out there. Once again, that's ravinia.org. When really is the best time to pull up? Because I've gone the last couple of weeks to Daisy's, and then that's right across the street, restaurant in Logan Square. And I've come out in the line, I come out about like 10:30 and I'm good, but I've gone to a 10:30 dinner, come out 11:45, and it's crazy. It's crazy at that point. What's the best time to pull up for an event that may be starting at 10 o'clock?
Depending on the event, if it was a slow jams, if it's an Iggy, if it's any of those parties, you want to be there on time, because what people don't realize, the front of the building looks so empty, but Easy Does It has a huge patio. So on the back, right, we might have 200 people on the patio without people really knowing, and they still got to be accounted for. So when we close the patio at a certain hour, which is 11, right, that kind of halts everything, because now they done took the room. So it's kind of tricky. I would just say a lot of those parties, if you're pulling up the Easy, try to get there early. That way you're able to get a table, you know what I mean? You're able to get your spot. You're able to start drinking first, For
sure. What do you think are the biggest mistakes you see people making inside or outside of an event?
Do not walk up with cups. Do not walk up with alcohol. If you walk up with alcohol to Easy Does It or any bar for that matter that I ever worked at, I'm never letting you in. I just can't, because first of all, it's a fine. Like for you, it's illegal to drink walking down city streets. So if the police ride past, they can just they give you a fine and they give us a fine for that cup.
Is this a situation where you'll let people throw the cup away before they come in, or is it sort of a?
I will, but depending on how you respond to me saying, all right, give me the cup. If you want to drink it, if it's any, then you can just leave.
Got it.
Because that's really telling me how your attitude is going to be already inside. You already just doing too much, Your vibe is off.
All right. Mistake number one to avoid: don't pull up with a cup. Obviously, don't pull up with an open bottle or anything like that on you trying to get in. What's another one that you would tell people to avoid?
For the most part, inside is just like smoking. Smoking inside is so silly to me, because even when bars or clubs got a line, you allowed to come back out and smoke and go back inside. You don't have to smoke inside, or you don't have to risk getting caught and getting kicked out.
I'm really interested in how you've seen the city, how you've seen culture shift over your 10 years. And so it's interesting because when I hear people talk about like 2017, 2018 going out to say East Room, and they describe going out now, it's almost like we've lost something. People were seeing, particularly post-pandemic, being somebody on the front lines of Chicago nightlife, really seeing it, week to week. Has Chicago nightlife lost anything over the last few years?
Yeah, a lot of legendary places, a lot of legendary parties, I would say, Man, in my prime, I worked like 4 different bars, 4 different popular parts. So I worked East Ring, which was always, just busy on the weekends, late bar. Then I did Tuesdays on Tuesdays at Beauty Bar, which was a legendary party that we don't have anymore. Then I did Cowabunga Sundays at Delvanette, which was a big party too. It grew. Yeah, it was crazy.
I could see the memories as you were like coming over your eyes as you kind of listed them off.
But for the most part, it was just those parties. We don't have those parties. A lot of people ain't doing the same things. We lost DJs to COVID and just that type of shit, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Do you think people are still hungry for these things, that people want to see, whether it's not maybe more places opening, more parties being thrown? Do you think there is a need to be filled in Chicago's nightlife right now?
It is. It is a need to be filled. It's not a lot of places that's willing to have those parties, if I'm being honest. We don't have the accessibility to those places to have the parties because of the stereotypes, if I'm being honest,
Yeah, for sure.
We just don't have those places. They don't want us to have those type of parties, man. I get both sides of it because I'm not just security anymore, you know. The liability is there with everything that's going on, you know, and you have to staff those parties so hard. Like when with East Room and Prime East Room, I used to have to staff maybe 12 to 15 security guards on the night. That's not, you know, that's crazy. That's a crazy staff for a little bitty bar. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now when you think about other venues, like it don't add up for finance wise, you know, is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we like the pregame. You get in a party, nobody wants to leave, so you can't turn the room. There's a lot of things that go on with those parties. And so that's what I just want to clear up. It's not just because people don't want to take us. It's because the room won't turn on high space. It's a lot that goes with that.
No, that's a very good point. I mean, there's a lot that goes into throwing a successful event that I don't think a lot of people consider. I mean, even Slow Jams, one of the most popular events, is that they're, you know, recently announced that they're moving locations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so it's one of those things like sort of, if it's a great event, like you said, I'm not going for just 20 or 30 minutes to go and leave. I'm going to spend my night.
Exactly. And that party, they already in the works and figuring out somewhere to get it to, and I think it's gonna be dope. But that party was a monster. They need somewhere that can, you know, they can fit that monster, man, so that they can turn the room and actually make money, because that's what these parties about. So they outgrew Easy Does It, if I'm being honest.
And like you said, it was good to see over time, and we hope that something comes in, and like you said,
No,
it
it's
feels
coming
that
in.
need.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, but no, it's gonna be dope.
What would you want somebody who, whether it's coming there for the first time or going anybody, what would you want them to know about the person working the door?
We there for you, bro. We really genuinely there for you. We want you to get into the bar. We're in the business of selling alcohol. Everybody that only gets paid, right, if they sell alcohol, right? Like, we there for you. We really there for you. I want you to get in. I want you to have a good time. Seriously. I want you to have a good time. I'm gonna get you in as fast as I can. I don't just have like nobody standing in line for no reason. I'm not that type of person. We are there for you. Seriously. We the first people and the last people you see. Think about that.
Hey, on that note, that is a great outro line right there. I want to give another huge thank you to East Room Fatty. Again, I have been coming there for years, and you've been somebody that I've appreciated. I'm glad that we finally got to have a conversation, man.
Yes, brother. Thank you. Salute. Thank you for inviting me into your show, brother.
Before we let you go, we've got more news and events over at our website, chicago.citycast.fm. And while you're there, subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. Of course, we can't end the episode without some good news. Tonight, I'm headed to Millennium Park to see Corinne Bailey Ray and Terrence Martin for free. The gates open at 5 o'clock and the show starts at 6:30. Hopefully, I'll see you out there. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow breaking down some big stories from the week. We'll talk to you then. Peace.